Hello, everybody, and welcome to our extra long episode of Hardcore Heroes. How are you guys doing today?
Nice. Good.
Pretty good.
Yep, happy to be here.
Sean, you look kind of bundled up. What's going on?
Well, it was -6 degrees here Fahrenheit last night. It's -20 Celsius for you Euro types. It's now, I believe, 10 degrees here, which is about -6 Celsius. It's cold.
There's a little chilly.
Yeah, there's a lot of snow. I've been walking around because I have to, and there's about 5 or 6 feet of snow piled up in places. There's a lot of stuff out there. Like it's not warm anymore, and my window doesn't shut all the way, so some space leaks in every now and then.
Your window doesn't shut, and it gets to -20 outside.
It shuts most of the way. It's just like eternally cracked open. So I've got the heat all the way up, but it's still just very, very cold in here.
Isn't that something that should get fixed?
Yeah, I could make a complaint about it, but I was lazy.
Well, that is American engineering and American attitudes for you right there.
Look,
Shit's broken, but fuck it. I'm just gonna do this other
It's
thing.
not only American attitude.
Yeah, that's everywhere.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I can throw on a jacket. I've got some gloves up in the closet. I can just throw those on.
A woolly hat.
Oh yeah, I've got the woolly hat.
Okay.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
What about you, Nick? You got some nice Instagram stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Kind of honey
well, we
glow
should get through
based
this.
around you.
Mm-hmm.
I clicked default on the camera settings, and then for the life of me, couldn't get it back to look anywhere near normal.
Why would you try and change it?
Yeah, no, I'm growing to like it now. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Not really done anything this week. Just been to work. Yeah, and here we are. That was a quick week.
Wow, that was fantastic.
Yep.
Bastion, what about you?
Well, I've been the whole week on a seminar. It was fun. Good group. And sadly, I did not get to watch your XCOM stream.
Good one.
I've heard it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I've slowly started to watch part of it.
It was a lot of fun.
I will skip through it.
We had some internet issues. There was a rainstorm and a windstorm here, and it kind of knocked out the internet for a while, or really just made it really laggy. And we came back and finished it later. And I haven't had that much fun doing a marathon stream in a long time. So
Was XCOM the one where you streamed a character sheet for a few minutes? It was just a character sheet on stream, and nobody was able to see any of the gameplay.
Yeah, it was.
maybe, probably, yeah. I mean, that happens a lot where I have the wrong overlay up. I'm not going to pretend that's not a frequent issue here. But well.
It was professional stream.
Thank you. Anything else going on of note in the last week for any of us? I know you guys must be almost done with school.
Yeah, I'm out.
You're done? You're done with all your finals?
Yeah.
How did they go?
Well enough. It's solid. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, Sean, when you finish uni?
I want to go into security, like computer security.
Ah.
Yeah.
Noble.
I don't know. Seems like fun. I'd rather do that than like web development.
Are you excited to do private or public sector?
Private.
Private?
Private sector.
Do you even have a public sector in America?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in this case it would be mostly military contracts, although I guess that's also
probably.
private sector.
Yeah, that would be private.
I guess, even though it's for the public, you're...
I mean, I'm pretty sure everything is privatized in the US, isn't that right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Not yet. We still have to get Social Security there, but ask us again in 2017.
Yeah, and we still have public police and fire departments, but we can privatize that, I think.
Yeah, no, I've played Mirror's Edge. I know how this goes.
Yeah, privatizing the police sounds like a really good idea.
Well, I think if everyone just has their own personal bodyguards,
yeah,
you won't worry about it anymore.
To the people, if anyone ever played or heard anything about Shadowrun, we know where this.
Well, you've already got private prisons, so.
I mean, but the population is publicly funded.
What do you mean the population?
I mean, the prisons may be run for private, but the justice system is still public.
Okay.
The people that go to prison are still done in a public way. I think we can find a way to privatize the justice system too.
Yeah,
if we really put our heads together on it.
We'll get there.
Well, we know who the next whistleblower will be.
Oh yeah.
Who?
Oh,
Sean?
fuck that shit.
Don't say that out loud. Somebody's gonna come and kill him in the middle of the show. Just suggesting it.
You think I'm far more noble than I actually am? No. God, what else? Oh, Street Fighter V Season 2 is coming out. I'm waiting for those changes. It sounds like they might actually make a good game out of it, so I'm kind of cautiously optimistic for Street Fighter V. I finished the second arc of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's great. Go watch it. And that's about it with me.
Cool. Well then, if everyone has caught us up on their lives, why don't we do a recap? Why don't we do like a... We could start just doing joint recaps and handing out the experience to everyone instead of having one person do a recap for them to gain XP. Let's just start passing it around. So everyone, what do they call it in school? Like popcorn style recaps?
What the hell does that mean?
Didn't have popcorn style reading when you were in like elementary school, where someone reads a few lines, and another person pops in and reads a few lines, and another person
has
pops
to say
in.
who speaks next.
I think
So you have to choose someone, Neil, and then we'll do a bit, and then you pick someone else.
Nick, start it off.
All right, so we started off in a tense engagement, either side of a bleak, swampy river. One side was an island with a cleric with his quite comically stuck in a web spell that I'd cast, hiding down some stairs. We were on the other side of the water, sort of left in this standoff at the end of the previous episode. So we started Van cast water walking. We run across the lake, the river. I summon a troll, a shadow troll that sort of darts down the hole, starts like murdering everyone. And then really we just kind of went down there and killed everyone.
Yeah.
The head cleric guy manages to vaporize himself and disappear. So we kind of loot the place, and then we scryed on him, seen that he was in a forest somewhere, looked like the Thornwood Forest. Figured that he'd headed north. So Kine came out, tracked the guy down, and we walked for, what was it, like 36 hours to track this guy down just outside of Thornwood.
Yeah.
Where we had a good old mud wrestling thing going on for a while. Captured him and took him back to Shirebrook.
Right. Next person.
Yeah, on the way to Shirebrook, we met some bandits, but they did not want any trouble. By the way, while we were traveling, Kine had a few words with Malachi about summoning a shadow troll, because he has a few issues with trolls. Let's say that.
Which I only just became aware of.
Yeah,
In
like
my
in
defense.
Shirebrook, we discovered that a few villages, or most people living south of the river, fled to Shirebrook from their villages because they feared they would disappear or get attacked by whatever attacks these villages. And well, we fought our way, made our way through the refugees to the keep, brought this guy there. I think Van told the gatekeeper, the brother of Haynes, about Haynes, and that he's a good brother. We brought the man in together with Rohana. We talked to her first, and no news on the Chimera location, lair location. And well, we decided this man is guilty. The Baroness asked her captain of the guard what to do. Well, we decided to put him in a jail cell, cut his or burn his tongue out. Hannah will interrogate him. He doesn't need to be able to speak for that. So, yeah.
He doesn't need to be able to speak for his interrogation.
No, I can just go into his head. I can actually force him to vocalize his thoughts.
Fun. So is that where we left off? Where are we now?
So we did a little bit after that. Van went to Mother Elise to look into some possibilities for feeding all of the refugees who had just come to Shirebrook. About, I think it was 8 or 9 villages worth of people had all fled the villages they were living in south of Shirebrook for fear of the curse of the Shadow Mountains that has been causing villages in the area to just vanish. Buildings intact, everything looking like there was really no sign of a struggle, but everybody gone and dead, as we later found out. We weren't able to figure out any sort of solution for the food crisis. Malachi went to visit Tyrus Bellows for reasons that I don't remember off the top of my head.
Just asking him about the bullywugs.
Oh, right.
And then I went to speak to Aldrich and asked him about what he thought might be in the caves. I think we finished off. They were talking to Mother Elise and trying to solve the food that day. I was speaking to Tyrus and Aldrich, and then we
all
arranged
met
to
up.
meet Rohanna at the Half Pint.
Yeah,
But
and
then-
we're all going to go up to, I believe, Stromheim to do some more research on what's going on in the Shadow Mountains.
Yeah, we've got a few things we need to box off before we
Yeah.
leave, which should be the same day.
Yep.
I mean, all three have their thoughts about what could be in the Shadow Mountains and what could attack, or what does attack these villagers. And I think we three, all three, I don't know about Van, but Kine and Malachi have their suggestions or fears that it could be a dragon. Malachi went to Ordric to ask him about dragons. And I think we also decided to try to meet up with the rumored golden dragon in Stromheim. Try
Hey.
to speak with them.
Maybe, yeah. Well, should we pick up then?
Sure. So you guys are still in Shirebrook then?
I think it's that night. We're in the Half Pint
Okay.
with Rohanna. And we're all sitting around a table, I guess. Had a few, maybe we've already had a couple of drinks.
Yep.
And we're getting ready to leave for Stromheim in the morning.
All right. So you guys are all together on the first floor of the Half Pint, and Rohanna, after having a coughing fit and pulling out a handkerchief to dab the blood away from her mouth, asks you guys what you hope to accomplish.
Well, maybe if our fears are... Well, to see if our fears are right. If we can get in touch with this golden dragon, well, first we would have to inform the queen that we caught these people. These people are caught at all. If this dragon knows anything about what we can tell it, or Van can show it, maybe it can say us something about it.
I doubt that this dragon's going to want to see us. I mean, I think if we can find out that it is a dragon in the mountains, then maybe it will help. But I think we should find out for ourselves first.
I had heard the gold, right?
Yeah,
Her name is Nixium.
yeah, I think so, something like that. Do you know how its relationship with the crown works?
No, I've never... I don't know. I don't think it lives in the mountains, though.
No, I meant that if it's a dragon in the Shadow Mountains.
Oh, right.
Maybe if we can get to speak to the queen, we could inquire about it. Maybe she could set up a meeting.
Yeah.
Well,
Gotta speak to the queen first. But hey, our number one priority should be getting some sort of recognition for what we've done.
Indeed, we should speak to the Baroness about it. And Rohanna, can you help us with it? I mean,
With what?
well,
Stromheim is closed right now. I'm sure you've heard the queen was assassinated.
I
I-
heard
was
that
she?
Stromheim was closed.
we
I
don't know.
don't know if the assassination was successful or not, but I believe there was,
Yeah.
and that's why the city was closed. If we were to bring evidence, if we were to have a letter from the Baroness saying that we've captured those responsible for the murders of numerous nobles in the region, I think we might be able to get into the city.
I mean, they're
Indeed.
very responsible. They said so. And they were also looked for in Plains View, I think. We met some knights who were after a group of rogue people who murdered some families. And these people were told to wear brown robes, or seen wearing brown robes. I think, now out of character, Neil, we searched their place. Did we find brown robes among their belongings?
In the underground tower?
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few, but they mostly, like, all of their clothes were black robes. There might have been a few brown robes lying around and a few just sets of other clothing, but it didn't seem like there was a brown robe for every person. It was just kind of like, there's other clothing around, normal clothing, street clothing, working clothing, which did include brown robes.
I mean, there would have to. I bet there was something else than these black robes with red swirls on it. If they were to go out.
I shrug. I'm sure it was them. Those knights were from Fortune, though, I think, or at least near there.
No, they said. I remember correctly. They said Plainsview.
Okay.
Rohanna creaks her head to the side and says, "Isn't that a little shaky? Brown robes? I mean, isn't that the color of most monks' robes?
Well,
Yeah, I think
isn't
it might
that
be
like saying someone was walking around wearing a shirt?"
I mean, it's a perfect disguise, and these people had a common method to assassinate nobles. They threatened the family of a servant in the castle, in the keep, and forced them to do it, and then murdered the entire family. So it would, they said these people murdered a family or something. So it would.
Okay. Well, I don't know if there's anything I can help you with, but good luck. And Malachi, I'll keep my ears peeled for anything that might be useful for your Chimera Lair hunting.
Yeah, well, if I could get your notes, maybe it will help with my own research. Give me a head start.
Sure.
So if you need it, we have a skull of the Chimera. And the corpse is lying somewhere along the coast.
I think we should keep the skull. I might need it.
Whoa! You might need it.
Well, I mean, it's not going to be much use for Rohanna. She's, I think, leaving this task behind.
Bones and magic.
Something I forgot to ask Aldrich. Well, if we're going to see the Baroness tomorrow anyway, I'll pop in on it.
Okay. Is that it then?
Yeah, I think we just, spend the night
Okay.
drinking.
The night passes, and eventually you guys wake up the next day to go see the Baroness.
Awesome.
I will cast my 4th level spell, Stone Skin, on Van.
Excellent.
I wanted to ask Malachi the next day about it. To renew.
Neil, I think you have to roll for charges.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just making sure I have all my notes.
Did you renew it on Kine already?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
D4 plus 4?
Sorry, I'm gonna look it up, Neil. I think it's D4 plus 2, I think, but I have to.
I think it's more than that. I think
D4 plus 2. I think it's D4 plus 2.
Plus 1 for every 3 levels, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it round up though?
No, those things usually round down.
Well, some spells specify that they round up. Like I've got one that specifies it.
Uplift, I think.
Yeah.
Well, whichever
it
way it
doesn't.
rounds.
Yeah, it's D4 plus 2.
Okay.
Or D4 plus 3 if you want to round up.
We'll do D4 plus 2. I think that's
Yep.
what we've done for the others.
I think so.
Oh god, someone
Alright.
in chat.
I don't know. I mean, no, I'm not even gonna go there. Not even gonna go there.
No.
We shouldn't.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Although, it is Christmas.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking.
Definitely moving on. You guys find your way back to the keep the next day.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, we go to see the Baroness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, look, do you guys want to speak to her, and I'll go and speak to Aldrich?
I think Van is more is better in speaking with her. I agree.
Sure.
All right, you don't need to throw in your little comments,
Nothing.
kind. Yeah.
Nothing against you, Malachi. I think I'm not fit to speak to her either.
Yeah, well, you're not. I say as I sort of walk off.
Well, fuck you.
Van just kind of chuckles at that. Fucking wizards. Now you know what I've been living with for the past year or so. Neil, what time is it? Like, what time of year?
It is September 27th. Tuesday, September 27th, 1509.
We're catching up to the real world.
Yeah.
Bit by bit.
Yep. We'll get there eventually.
Bit by bit prime. So you guys are, you get to the keep.
Yep.
What's his name? James Valmont, the gatekeeper, looks you guys over, recognizes you from all your previous encounters here, lets you in. A servant takes you into a parlor and asks what your business is in the keep.
We have to speak with Baroness Valmont about two matters. One is the man that we brought in yesterday, the prisoner, and the other is to do with the closing of Stromheim and the Curse of the Shadow Mountains. And
I would like to talk to the wizard.
The servant tells you that you may go speak to Aldrich whenever you dare. He will send a message for the Baroness and just to wait here until she arrives.
Have you guys got this if I go?
Oh, sure. Tell Aldrich to prepare some tea for me. I'll meet you up there.
I don't know about that. I think maybe it's best. Well, whatever you like. All right.
Malachi, just be careful that you two don't accidentally start a wizard fight.
We've been getting on swimmingly recently, actually. I'll go and knock on his door.
Okay. Aldrich answers in his usual, "Hold on, I'll be there, give me a moment," fashion. And then 5 minutes passes, and eventually he comes down after you knock again, opens the door with a bit of a hurry and an irritated look in his eye. And
look, I know I only bothered you yesterday, but I just had something else that I thought you could help me with.
You're awfully needy this week.
Yep, I know. There's a spell of yours that I hoped perhaps you may give me access to. If you're short on coin, I could always pay, but it's to solve the problems with the Shadowmons. We were discussing the cave that we scryed upon with the clerical spell.
Yes.
You have clairvoyance, correct? Perhaps if
I have many spells.
Yeah, so I already tried clairaudience, but I don't know, I couldn't get a definite answer from that, but I think if I could see the cave, that at least let me know what we're dealing with.
Come in. He grumbles to himself.
Yeah, come up.
Okay.
You know, we can always make a trade if you prefer.
No. The latest Baroness does not properly fund my research the way her mother did. I find myself in plebeian need for currency to work my appropriate ways.
Very well. How much would you ask?
Clairvoyance?
Yeah.
The power to see into people's homes?
Indeed.
To scour the world for information? This is a priceless spell.
Well, if it's priceless, then I guess I'll just take it.
500 gold seems like that would be a tidy sum for access to one of the world's most powerful and influential spells. Knowledge is power, you know, and this spell provides knowledge.
500 gold's a bit steep. You know, what about 300?
Market rates.
Alright, 350.
Fine.
Alright, so I give him 3 bloodstones worth 50 gold. And 2 deep red garnets worth 100.
Okay.
And I want him to make a copy for me so I can go and learn it on the road.
He looks at the stones, calls for a servant, sends the servant off with the stones to get them appraised before he fully accepts your payment.
Okay.
And yeah, if you just want him to copy down this spell for you, he will do it. He says it'll take him maybe a day or so. He's a little busy.
Look, I try and tell him that we're in a bit of a rush to get to Stromheim. If he could just...
You're in a bit of a rush. What about my research?
I understand, but it should only take you an hour to copy it down, and that would save me a whole day.
Maybe that's why you need so many spells copied for you. Your penmanship is sloppy. Doing this right takes time, young man.
I'll tell you what, I'll throw another 30 gold in. How's about that? If you can do it now.
Treat me like some common whore that you can just throw money at and get what you want.
You did
Don't
say that
let
you were
your
on
power
the
get to your head, Malachi. You may have access to great and mighty spells and be able to bring chimeras out of the sky and fly your friends around on a tether like a kite.
Indeed.
But do not let that make... Do not let you... Do not let it
Don't
get to
worry.
your head.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll just... Do you mind if I sit down? I'll wait.
He looks really irritated at you.
You just... If you want to... Whatever you were working on, that's fine. I'll just sit here.
He turns back and starts going up the stairs to the next level and the next level above him. He's got, a small little tower, multi-layers.
Right. I think I might just be a nuisance and hang around.
Okay.
Like, come and look over his shoulder, like, oh, what's going on? What are you doing here? And then maybe try and, like, correct some of his mathematics in certain places.
His math is pretty good. But, he's, like, maybe looking through his telescope during the day, and you're like, what the fuck are you looking at? And he's, checking out these clouds and making these notations about the shapes of the clouds and the precipitation from within them and their colors and their wind speeds, and then he'll go over here and jot these things down. He's got a couple of beakers with water collected from different areas that he's comparing, acidity through. And,
if we are by the telescope, I'll actually ask him about the Malchus constellation and say, Van says that Malchus's stars, I didn't pay that much attention to them, but he says that they're not in the sky.
Malchus's constellation doesn't truly rise for a few more months. Your friend is insane.
I don't know, he seems to know what he's talking about with this kind of stuff, but... Are you sure? I mean, I trust you wouldn't have this if you didn't know.
Maybe in the wee hours of the morning they might be visible on a perfectly clear day if you have a clear line of sight to the horizon, unobstructed by trees or mountains or hills or buildings. But you would only be able to get a glimpse of maybe the first star or two. Your friend is probably hasty.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, there's some weird stuff going on, Aldrich. Maybe just take a look next time.
Stars missing from the sky, indeed. You know the ramifications of a constellation missing?
No, I do not. What would that mean?
Constellations are not simply symbolic imageries of the gods themselves. It is their gods in their truest forms.
So what are you saying?
If a constellation were missing, a god would be missing.
Dead or walking the earth?
He gives you a knowing look and goes back to his paperwork.
Alright, I sit back down.
Okay. So it takes like maybe an hour or so before he finishes up his things and begrudgingly gets around to writing these things down. The servant does come back with the jewels, whispers something in his ear. He seems pleased, and then turns back to you, holds up one of the, what was it, like a bloodstone worth 50 GP, and goes, and if I'm going to be putting aside the rest of my duties for the day, I hope there's a fourth one of these lying around.
I've got 30 gold coins with your name on it. I need to keep my wealth in gems when possible.
Well then, I will accept the 50 gold coins.
30. No?
He starts writing things down.
Yeah, alright, there you go.
Okay. It takes him maybe an hour or two to finish, probably actually 2 or 3 hours to finish transcribing everything. He's got very slow, careful penmanship, and it takes a few pages in a book to get it all down. But he eventually hands it over to you, tied with a neat little ribbon, kind of wrapped in a series of scrolls, and dismisses you from his presence with much irritation.
Good to do business with you. All right. I will start looking this over, and I'm going to learn it on the road. Well,
if you ruin the parchment, You will have to buy it again.
Okay. You know, talking about that, Aldrich, I don't suppose you've got any spare spellbooks lying around.
I do.
Mine is full.
What
But,
a pity.
The price of new books seems extortionate.
Tell me about it.
Where did you acquire all these?
Stromheim. There's a bookmaker there.
How much did you pay?
She is a difficult one to deal with. Though her craftsmanship is excellent, she has a poor temper.
Well, sounds like you two might get along.
What is that supposed to mean?
I
Have you
was
no
just-
respect for your elders?
I do. I have much respect. I wouldn't be here hoping to learn from you if not.
Kids these days. Her prices are quite high. One can
You know,
expect to pay 50 to 100 gold per page, depending on how well she gets along with you.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Well, can't very much afford that. You know, I've got
Yes.
maybe I can bargain with her for something. Alright, well, yeah, thanks, so maybe I'll speak to her.
Yeah.
I'll leave.
Okay. You head downstairs and find that even though it's been like 4 hours, Van Helsing and Kine are still waiting in the
You
same
guys still
damn
here?
parlor. They've been brought wine and snacks, some refreshments, but they are still waiting.
Kai, maybe we should get some cards. Maybe like a board game. Might want to go out and buy one of these for the next time we're waiting around to meet somebody.
I have two flutes with me, so at some point I get mine from the box and play.
Okay.
After like 5 minutes of this, Dan's just kind of like sitting there rubbing his temples, and Malachi walks in and he goes, "Malachi, do you have any board games?" Malachi.
Board games? No.
Can't you
Look,
just
we could
summon
play.
an illusionary board game?
Ooh, well, not today, but that's a good idea.
Look, we could play checkers. I'd take out some gold and silver coins and set them up as a checkers.
Sure.
No.
Yeah, I guess we'll like arrange stuff together to make a impromptu board and play some checkers.
It's very clever.
And you know, I
Or
heard some
drafts, as we call it
people-
in England.
You guys, I heard some people talk about a game, some kind of card or game that you play without a board. You pretend to be someone else or something.
Sounds really
Pretty
lame.
Oh, humans and
popular
households.
among the nobles. It's popular among the nobles, I heard.
Yeah, it's because they haven't got the balls to go out and be real heroes. Sitting around pretending like fools.
It's another hour of the three of you hanging around in this parlor before the Baroness shows up. She comes with her guard. That's her knight and a few small men-at-arms. And a servant opens the way and gestures her in. The three of you stand up appropriately. She looks around and goes, "So, you needed to speak with me?"
Yes, I'm sure you're aware of the situation in Stromheim, that the city has been closed. Nobody is allowed in or out.
That is what they tell me.
Well, we captured the man that we brought to you yesterday. That's the man responsible for the murders of all the nobles in the region.
Mm-hmm.
If you could write us a letter saying that that man has been brought, or has been captured, and he's rotting in the dungeons in Shirebrook, that might be enough to get us into the city. And we need to get into the city because, as you may also remember, you commanded us to search into the Curse of the Shadow Mountains. We have reason to believe a powerful spell-casting monster is residing there, and we need to do our research. We can't simply blindly walk into its lair. It would be suicide. We need a library, like we might be able to find in Stromheim.
I see. So you want me to do what exactly?
Write a letter saying that the man responsible for the murders of all the nobles in the region has been apprehended.
She snaps her fingers. A servant comes by, brings some paper and a pen for her, and she starts dictating. And as the servant writes it down, she says, "The bearer of this letter, Father
Van Helsing.
Van Helsing and his men, are under my direction to visit the library in order to overcome the curse of the Shadow Mountains.
And
And
I've captured the man responsible.
and have captured the men responsible for the murder of my family. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Marvelous.
The servant finishes it up. She signs it, rolls it up, stamps it, seals it with her signet ring, and hands it over to you guys. A few moments later, some handmaids come in, and they start arguing about the length of a dress that she is currently wearing.
Does it seem, Neil, like she's becoming more used to being Baroness now? She seems a little bit more confident than she
That
was
is
at first.
for you to decide based on my bad acting.
All right. Then yes.
I think we should take our leave.
Has anyone seen Jeeves? Has he returned yet?
I think he's still in that village. Pinecone?
Didn't we send him a message to come
No.
back? Oh,
No.
right.
You guys were going to
Okay.
pick him up on your way out, I think.
That was the plan.
All right. You guys eventually
Guess so.
leave the keep. It's been half a day here. And when you get back to the Half Pint, there is a messenger there waiting for you.
Excellent. On the way there, Van says to Malachi, "You know, Malachi, I got your house boarded up for you. I've got some valuable things of my own in there. I didn't want to get robbed, but things aren't looking good here in Shirebrook. You might want to consider. I mean, I know that house is quite valuable, but we may want to consider relocating entirely."
Well,
I just started. I just started building one.
We've
I'm
got
sorry, Kyle.
we
But
can't finish
wait,
business here for the moment.
That's true. I just
probably hire some
I-
people to protect the building site. I will meet you No, we want to leave tomorrow today.
We want to
We
leave
should-
today.
could leave today.
And, I will meet you in an hour here.
Actually, Neil, how deep was the water, that river that we had to cross when we were going to whatever that small town was?
It was fordable by a
you wade
wagon and a
through it?
horse. Yeah, you could walk through it. It gets maybe to your knees.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's why people cross there, is that it's at the shallowest point of the river.
Okay.
Anyway, there is a messenger here waiting for you. He says
Right.
he brings word all the way up from Copper Hill.
Oh, shit.
He's got a
Is
large
he reading
scroll
it?
case. Nope. He just
Oh.
addresses you directly and
Mr.
hands you a
Joris.
scroll case.
I take it from him.
Uh,
What has the cantankerous old fool got to say now?
he said you had requested some things.
Aha! Yes, this is it. I open it up. Is it the spells that I thought it was?
It appears to be a bunch of spells written down.
What was it, Neil? Display self.
Oh, I have no idea. I was hoping you would remember.
Eben, Evan,
Display
no.
self and what's the other one that
Chat will help.
Georg uses? It was his two spells.
Wraith
Oh,
form. That was
Featherfall.
it. It was
No,
Wraith
no.
form.
It wasn't. It was
I'm a
Featherfall.
Nick.
Featherfall and display self.
Featherfall. Yeah. Marvelous. Well done, sir. I'll throw him a gold coin.
He gives you a bow, and then asks you what's going on. Why are all the taverns so full? Why are there so many people in town? Is there a festival going on?
Refugees
You-
from down south.
Sure. He asks some questions. I'm sure you guys can exchange the info, and then he takes off.
well, I'm not there, so before they entered the tavern, I took off to find someone to protect the building site. At least start it.
Have you even started building yet? I thought you just got the land.
No, we paid. I paid workers to start building, so it
Oh, okay.
finished in November.
Yeah, it's supposed to finish on October 16.
Oh, 6 October.
Yeah, so in a little more than 20 days, or actually about 20 days. If everything goes according to plan.
Which it surely will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to pay some guys to guard the site.
Honestly, with all these refugees, they might be able to just pick people up off the streets. Like, you work today, you work today, you work today. And like 2 copper.
So how are you going to find someone to guard the building? Are you looking for some, like, How do you find a person to guard your house?
Is there a tavern near the docks?
There's the Half Pint, which you just walked out of.
Thinking about it, I'm going back into the Half Pint since it was and I'm asked while these two are reading the message. I asked the innkeep if he knows some guys who are looking for a bit of work.
Innkeep, no, my friend. I do not know what you intend, but I do not know people looking for work.
Well,
This is not the sort of place one comes to.
Well,
See that through.
I have this building site for my own little hut in Shirebrook, but I'm a bit afraid that all these people here. I don't say that they will steal from the side, but so many people need some place to live, and I just want to make sure the workers can build the house uninterrupted.
That seems like a man-sized problem.
Mm-hmm. You have no idea, maybe heard of some guys, maybe some tough guys that would maybe started for...
You're the sort of guy I would normally tell about this sort of job, but I don't know what to do when the employee becomes the employer.
Where's the rhyming?
It's a hard thing to do, man. I'm not very good at it.
I'm not letting it slide.
Or maybe the gnome is actually just being intentionally rude.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, after all, Bastion has been seen with you guys in here a lot.
Mm-hmm. And we did tell him some.
It's kind.
Damn it, kind. Have a less cool normal name, man.
Yeah.
All right, if your name was Mitch, we would never have this problem.
Yeah. The great hero Mitch. Nobody would ever say that.
Right.
Have you an idea where I could find such folk? I mean, the docks are always a good place to find sturdy people.
Find a man with a sword or club. That would be the best way to see your building through.
Okay, thank you.
And tell your friends I do not forgive them for their crimes. He turns around and heads back to the other side of the bar to serve other people.
Before leaving the tavern, I go to the table with Van and Malachi. What did you do to the innkeep?
His son used to travel with us. He died on a deserted island off the coast.
Right, I heard about it.
Yeah, he's just... You think he'd get over it by now. It's been a few months, I mean.
Yeah, he wants to... He wants me to give you a little message. He doesn't forgive you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not too surprised.
Well, I'll be back in an hour. Have fun.
All right.
Yeah,
have a good time yourself, Kine.
I lean into Van. I don't forgive him either. If Corny being such a poor fighter almost got us both killed.
I really can't blame anyone. That was rough, Malachi. Did you remember that giant, the female hobgoblin came out of the woods? I thought we were all dead. You
I thought we were all dead too.
Spikes
Yeah.
in it. It was the size of a tree trunk.
She killed the captain guy and the other sailor. Yeah, he was an idiot as well though.
Yeah. I'm not too surprised he went.
No,
Seems like a lot of the people we pick up just aren't cut out for the adventuring life.
that's true. Kine's working out all right. He survived quite a while.
Yeah, no, he's done better than most.
Yep. Not quite Croak, but I suppose it's what it'll have to do, won't it? At least he's not a dwarf.
Yeah. Van's face sours a little bit at the mention of Croak, but then like an idea pops into his head. Is chess a thing in this world, Neil?
Sure.
Van's gonna go look around for like a folding chessboard, like a portable chessboard.
There's
imagine
probably
there'd be a wooden chessboard that you could like fold in half on its hinges, right?
There's
Right.
probably one in the inn. or at least a chessboard.
I'm gonna look.
There's
at
a non-folding chessboard in the inn. If you want to scour the town for a folding chessboard, it would probably take you the rest of the day to do it.
Oh, that's fine. I don't. Kind's going around to do work anyways. I kind of
Okay.
want to wait until tomorrow to leave at this point anyways, since I have some town-based spells.
You can find a carpenter who does occasionally make chessboards and has one on hand. He tells you that he would be willing to cut one of his boards in half and attach some hinges to it for you and sell it to you for a price.
Sure, that sounds wonderful.
It's a good price for a chessboard. A folding chessboard, let's say it's like 2 gold.
Sure.
You know, it's a nice
I'll-
little wooden box, closes in on itself.
I'll pay
With
him
pieces
3.
as well.
Yeah, I'll pay him 3 for giving me one from his collection.
Sure. Yeah, and it does have little chess pieces, also all hand carved.
Yeah. All right. I think then I proceed to beat Banner chess.
Yeah, so I'll play Malachi chess. Do we do like opposed int checks or
Oh
something?
hell yes! Give me opposed in checks.
All right. How does this work? So we don't add our stat to it.
The person who rolls the highest and still passes wins.
Okay.
I spend the whole time, like whilst we're playing, berating him for thinking he could win.
All right.
I'm glad that
And
you
then
said that
hopefully
before you
I
rolled. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I have to roll 14 or lower. Fuck, I lose.
Ooh,
Well,
you lose. No,
You know,
it's okay,
Malachi?
man.
Don't worry, I'm gonna get better at this, and I'm gonna beat you one of these days.
One day. One day.
nice.
You know, I've got in real life, I've got friends that I play chess with, and like about 4 people, I always beat them, and then the one time they beat me, they just never played with me again.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
All right,
I,
the-
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Bastion, Kine. No, Bastion. What is Kine doing?
Nice.
Nice.
Let's
save.
say. Well, I'm now looking around on the docks and looking for people who are looking sturdy, looking strong. Maybe have a weapon that look like they have nothing to do at the moment.
You don't find any of these people down by the docks, but you definitely see plenty of refugees cruising around or sitting around, more likely. Some of them do have weapons. They're usually pretty crude things. You know, someone's got like a walking stick, but it's got nice hand grips on it. You could see it could be used to defend oneself. You know, someone else has like a rusty mace.
I'm going to approach one or two who look like they don't have a family with them. And basically I'm going to them, ask them if they are looking for work. I could pay them to guard a certain place here in Shirebrook for about 2 weeks. And I would give them
You'll give 2 people 2 gold each to stay in Shirebrook and guard your house.
I can't have, as a ranger, I can't have henchmen or hirelings, but these people are only guarding a place. They're not accompanying me.
Yeah,
That's
that's,
fair.
a henchmen and hirelings. I think that's for like people who travel into dungeons with you.
Yeah, this is fair. I will accept this.
I will give them 4 gold each.
4 gold each to guard your house for 3 weeks.
3 weeks until it's finished.
Right, which should be 3 weeks. Yeah, they sign on, agree to do it. They then proceed to bow and scrape and kiss your feet for the opportunity to do this and be paid 4 gold for it.
If they start doing that, I'm just no, stop that. I'm just you look like you need some work, and well, food is not cheap.
All right, so that is all set up. You have found people to guard your house. The rest of you have found a chess set, found some spells, found a whole bunch of new spells, actually. And why don't we take a break here after our first hour of warming up on the show, and I think you guys are off to Stromheim the next day.
We've got to
Is that
stop
right?
in on Jeeves and that town up south of the swamp, but yeah.
Right, Pinecone. Cool.
Yeah.
So let's go to break, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye-bye.